Smile first.
Welcome back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Elevate Your Vision Talk Show, the space where we empower women to live their most authentic and fulfilling lives. I'm your host, Dr. Rose White, and I am excited to be here again with my wonderful friend and collaborator, Liz Joyner of Emerging Life Coaching. Welcome back, Liz.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rose. Thank you so much, as always. It's such a pleasure to be on your show.
Thank you. Well, today we are glad that you are all here as we are diving into a topic that is so important for our well being, yet so many of us struggle with it, and it is the art of saying no. We have to learn the art of saying no and setting some healthy boundaries. And sometimes that can be quite challenging. And so it's a skill. And it's a skill that literally can transform our lives. And we're going to be able today to explore how to master that. And so, with that, Liz, I want to start with a very big question. Why is it so hard for women in general, people as a whole, to say no?
Are you ready for this one? The first one that comes to mind is because there's so many people pleasers.
Yeah.
Okay? That is number one in my perspective,
Yeah.
and as a life coach, and a friend, a sister. I have had so many people come to me, and it all equates to people pleasing.
Oh my goodness gracious. We could be on that all day, but because we are limited with time, I'm going to do my very best to stay within a time period here. But that is so very true because we are taught, even from our youth, to please people.
Yes.
We always want to be able to make people happy. And so when we say no, sometimes we can be made to feel like we're being selfish or confrontational. And this is something for me personally, I have had to learn, and I've lost some people along the way because I've had to master those two little letters. No. That two little letter word, no. And so, Liz, I want to ask you, what are the consequences of not setting healthy boundaries?
Well, I think many, but I would say feeling empty, person not feeling validated, lack of confidence, and always, people can take control of you because they can manipulate you.
Yeah.
Because you want to people please.
Yes.
And so identifying what is in you, what is it that is not able to say two letters, N-O, no.
Yeah. Oh my
Simple
goodness.
as that. It's
Simple.
not simple, but starting, if you have been in the situation, there's no going back, but there's going forward to start saying no and to start setting boundaries, healthy boundaries.
Healthy boundaries. Absolutely. And something that you mentioned, talking about empty. A lot of times we find ourselves when we really don't have a lot going on in our own lives, we want to appear to be greater than we really are. And so, therefore, we're saying yes to everything. We're finding ourselves again with saying yes to everything or everyone. It is exactly what you mentioned. I got to please people.
Yes.
And that will get us in trouble every time when you're trying to please people rather than being true to thine own self, walking in your own authenticity, which on the inside may be already telling you, don't do it. Say no. That's not something that you need to be a part of, connected to, or to get wedged inside of. We've got to have those healthy boundaries. And so it's a vicious cycle, and the more that we say yes to things that do not align with our values or with our belief systems, when we start to say yes to those things, we'll begin to lose ourselves.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, Liz, how can we start to identify our own boundaries? How do we identify that?
Well, I think first you need to look at what are you doing with your time? Okay. Who are the people around you? Are you picking up on their wants and likes and you forgot what you like? And so I think that really taking evaluation of that, because oftentimes it's an energy zapper, time waster, okay, and it adds no value. So taking a look at what are you doing in the day and your inner circle. What does your inner circle look like? Who do you have in your life? Um, do they add value? So that you need to really evaluate that first. And then when you have that evaluated, you're going to see as you start, doing the journal, or maybe writing down just some things on a piece of paper. You're going to see a pattern, okay? And guess what? That pattern can be broken.
Yes.
And so that is how you start really realizing, maybe you didn't know it before, as we only have 24 hours in the day. And sometimes we form the habit and we're on autopilot and we don't really have any extra time. But then you realize, you know what? Some of the time, what I did in an activity or a networking, or I didn't really want to do it, but I did it because fill in the blank, because maybe I wanted to fit into a crowd, because maybe a group of friends, a spouse, or any number of reasons. But it was somebody else's decision, desire, except yours. And so start realizing that your time is precious. You are a masterpiece. You are an individual with your likes, desires, and you have goals that you want to meet, things that you want to do. And sometimes, in order to do that, it's going to have to take some shifting around. And that's people, places, and things. That's what I would say to get started, because we could go really deep with this. I'm very passionate about that.
Wow.
Did I leave you speechless?
She left me speechless. Before we continue our conversation, because we're going to have to come back to that, but I do want to take a moment just to share a tool that has been a lifesaver for me in managing my busy schedule. And as entrepreneurs, as leaders, we are juggling a million things all at once. So that's where Blink comes in. Blink is a digital business card that allows you to share your contact information and social media links with a simple tap or a scan. It's a modern, professional, and eco-friendly way to network. I am an affiliate partner with Blink, and I'm excited to share it with you. So if you sign up using my link that is listed below in the description, I may receive a small commission at no extra cost to you. This helps to support the show and it allows us to continue having these very important conversations. You can follow again that link. It is in the description below. So let's get back to our discussion with Liz Joyner on the art of saying no. Liz, before we took a little short break, you mentioned something that took my breath away. And you said a mouthful, but I'm just going to pick up just real quickly. You talked about patterns, but that word yes before understanding the power of no is so important, and it is also my passion. This resonates with me, and I could be on this until this time next year. But I have found personally that there have been times, whether it's family or friends or colleagues or coworkers, whatever, because of something that they were doing, I was quick to say yes because I didn't want them to maybe see me in a different light. But I discovered later, after saying yes, getting involved with so many things, attending meetings that didn't mount to a hill of beans, did not apply to anything that I was a part of, and a lot of times it did not even align with my own values. I found myself with the word that you used, and it is time waster. Whereas there are many of you that there are things that's on the inside of you that could be brought out of you to be able to do. But instead, we're constantly saying yes to things that is wasting time and it's not causing us to walk in our own purpose or fulfilling our own destiny. So when you can learn how to stand up, recognize that those boundaries has to be set. There comes a time when you got to break the pattern of saying yes to everything and become a master of no. Then that's when you will begin to fulfill destiny. Then you will begin to walk out the purpose that I truly believe that God has for you. And so saying yes to everything, you mentioned the word dealing with energy. Saying yes will zap your energy. It will make you start walking around like a literal zombie. You can become so worn out, beat down, and torn apart because you're constantly saying yes to the things that are really not there. Not to say that they're not great things, they can be wonderful things, but just not always the God things that are assigned to you.
Yes.
And so you've got to know how to be able to say no so that you're not having your energy literally being zapped because you're doing things based on someone else's decisions rather than what is your purpose and mandate. And so with that, Liz, we've talked about why it's hard to say no and how to identify our boundaries. Now let's talk about the how. What are some practical ways to say no in a graceful yet an effective manner?
Well, I think that responding to, you know what, I'm going to take some time out for myself and I'm going to start to do some self care. Start a new habit, some self care activities for me. So you are also, maybe another way you can look at it is booking some time, managing time effectively. So looking at starting a calendar and really look at where are you spending your time. So shifting some of the time that maybe you would go, let's just say, for example, take 1 hour a week to start. Maybe that hour you used to go do a networking just because you thought it was the right thing. Maybe if you're an entrepreneur, um, it's a great way to get business. But in that particular group that you consistently took 1 hour to go to, it was 1 hour for the whole networking event, but then it was 30 minutes each way to get there. So that's 2 hours of your day. Are you seeing the value in that? Are you getting any business? Are you getting any traction with that? If the answer is no, you've been doing it for maybe 6 months, maybe it's time to get rid of that. So that's an example from a professional standpoint. From a personal standpoint, maybe it's a group of friends that you frequently go do something with, and it's not necessarily an activity that you really enjoy, but it's just the thing to do. Maybe you say no to that. And instead of that 2 hours of going and doing that activity, maybe spend the 2 hours just doing things for yourself. And maybe that's taking a long walk on the beach. And it's okay to have quiet time and learn to be still. So those are a couple of ideas, many more that we could say, but I would also say one more, and that is the best thing is just really pamper yourself. And you can start at home. Have a quiet time, maybe 30, 45 minutes to an hour. Take a bath. Listen to some spa music. Use Epsom salt. Light a candle. And just savor those moments, because believe it or not, it does build your energy and it helps you get refueled. And that's what we need. That will cause aha moments when you start seeing the difference.
Wow, those are absolute excellent ideas, tips that we need. Talking about remember the commercial back in the day, Calgon, take me away. We need to experience those moments. That's also having that self-care, pampering yourself. And a lot of times we don't always do that. And so, again, these are ideas that you need to keep in your back pocket. You need to hold on to those ideas. So, Liz, what about the guilt, though, that comes with saying no? How do you deal with that?
Well, I think it comes to a point where is it stealing your joy? Because guilt can feel like, I'm supposed to do this. And is it really guilt or feeling like you're obligated for something? So I think that you have to really do a deep dive to identify that particular characteristic within your character as well. And there's going to be some negotiables on that. And I think that that's really a complex situation when it comes on that, because it really depends on the circumstance and who you have that you're dealing with. But the first tip or strategy, I would say, is acknowledging why you feel guilty about the thing or about the person or about the action.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a perspective. And it's
Most
a powerful, it's a perspective. And so I would add to that to say that it's all about shifting our perspectives from, I'm letting people down when I say no, to the perspective of I'm taking care of myself. I'm taking care of myself. So before we wrap up, Liz, because all of this has been absolutely phenomenal. It's just been so wonderful.
And Dr. Rosen, I'm sorry, can I interject with one more thing?
Yes.
I think so, and you would probably agree. I think so many times we spend way too much energy on other people. And by the time that we have energy to focus on ourselves, we don't want to.
That's right.
We don't want to. And we get in a rut on that.
Mm.
And so it's time to do a reshift of priority because
Yes.
you are priority. You are unique and authentic, and there is nobody like you.
That's
So you
right.
need to pour into yourself and start building a foundation. And when you do that, senses awaken, and you will realize it's okay to say no
That's
and
right.
set boundaries because it no longer serves you.
Absolutely. That is an absolute wonderful, wonderful
Yes.
thing to take into consideration. And this is the reason why life coaching is so valuable. Life coaching is priceless. And I do want to say this very quickly before Liz comes with a final piece of advice for us, and that is get in touch with Liz. You can hear more about her. She also has a YouTube channel. She has Life and Talk, and then Life in with Liz, which is so inspirational and motivational. And so, Liz, as you come forth to share with us one final piece of advice that you would give to a woman who's just beginning her journey of setting boundaries, also let our listening audience know how they can follow you or contact you.
Yes, most certainly. Life and Talk. If you look me up on YouTube, all of my information is there. Life and with Liz. That's really the YouTube channel. All of my information is there. Emerging Life Coaching is also, you can find me, and I'm on Google. So you can find me there as well. And all of my contact information, I have social media as well. So it's very easy to find me. But the last departing thought that I want to say to each and every one of you is that we only have ourselves to be accountable for, okay? And it's very healthy to set boundaries. You need to, because we are torn in so many different directions each and every day that you need to really grab a hold of yourself and do your personal care. Do you as well, because we pour into so many different parts of our lives. We're wives, we're mothers, we're entrepreneurs, we're employees, we're friends, we're siblings. And so life can get complicated, because add some more things into it, care for those that of our loved ones that are not well in certain capacities. So that is what I want to, impart, how vital it is for you to take care of yourself. And when you start realizing and take some of these strategies that we talked about on, the talk show today, open your eyes and look all around you because you deserve the best. So thank
Absolutely.
you, Dr. Rose.
Thank you so much, Liz. My goodness. We want to thank you so much for all of your, valuable, valuable
Thank you.
insights. This has been a conversation that I truly believe that resonate with so many women. And so, to our listeners, I want to encourage you to start practicing the art of saying no. It's okay. He give you permission to do so. Give yourself permission to say no. It's okay. See, it's not about being
Yes.
difficult. It's about being true to yourself and becoming your own authentic self. Your well-being matters. And so I want to thank everyone for joining us here at the Elevate Your Vision talk show. If you have enjoyed this episode, please like, share. Don't forget to subscribe. That is so important. Help us to grow our audience, to grow our community. And don't forget to check out the Blink link in the description down below. I am an affiliate and may get a commission. So until the next time, keep elevating your life.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day, everybody.
Okay. How was that?